That includes the Shakur Stevenson stuff. Yeah.
I think Shakur has a better chance to beat him than Lamont does. I think the problem with Shakur facing Gervonta, I don't want to cause no controversy with this, but we all probably bet on fights. If you know the game, you probably bet on fights, right? The thing about Shakur and Gervonta is this. I don't think that the style of fighting that Shakur Stevenson will have to fight to win that fight, I don't think it gets appreciated enough in this era. I think he's going to have to fight a risk-free fight, score points, a non-violent fight, dumb the fight down, not take any chances, just score points like kind of like amateur boxing. Don't try to put any power on his shot, just touch Gervonta and score points and get out of the fight. And I think that he can win, but I don't think that that style of fighting is appreciated enough in this era for him to win. Because if he tries to sit down, bang Gervonta out and walk him down, because Shakur actually, they say he can't punch. He's not a big puncher, but he's good at punching to the body. He has pretty good body shots. Gervonta Davis is a master counter puncher. If you reach down to his body, he's going to clip you. So you got to just, I don't know if the judges will appreciate Shakur enough. That's my honest opinion. You know what I mean? I like boxers. I could watch Rigondeaux fight. You know what I mean? I watched him in No Needle in the Air. People called that fight boring. I'm like amazed by the fight. But
that was beautiful. But what about like what he did in the Casemiro fight? I feel like
he's
wasn't
a little
beautiful.
old. He's older,
right.
He's older.
But what I'm getting
but
at
he was
is
still in his prime when he fought Nonito, and I could appreciate that. The Casemiro fight, he was way later than that. It was like 10 years later almost.
Right.
So I want to sling mud on the guy for being 41, 42 and trying to survive a little bit. But Shakur gets a lot of criticism for being a 3-division champion, man, and being undefeated.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I think he's a fantastic fighter, but he gets a lot of criticism. I see a lot of people in the media, on and off the record, say a lot of bad things about that kid. So I just don't know if they're going to appreciate him for the style that he, and he will be a fool to try to change his style to fight Gervonta, because if he does that, he could get clipped and everybody's going to laugh at him. So he has the catch-22 situation. Do he fight his fight and try to win, or do he try to change his style to appease people? I think he's too smart to change his style. And I don't know if his current style can win that fight. So that's why I don't have a pick, but I couldn't pick Shakur because the only way he's going to win, I don't think he can knock Tank out. So the only way he's going to win is to fight that defensive fight, 35 punches around, touching, moving, not giving up too much. With Gervonta Davis and his fans and the following that he has, because he is the A-side, whether people want to acknowledge that or not. He's the star of the fight, even though Shakur Stevenson makes probably good money, not the way Gervonta Davis does. So he is the A-side of the fight. I don't know if that style could win it, because Shakur Stevenson's a good boxer, but it's not like flashy Ray Leonard kind of boxing where it captures the crowd. You know what I mean? It's a little different. You know what I mean? I don't want to call it boring because I appreciate it, but it's more subtle. It's not that flashy stuff that Oscar and Ray Leonard did.
Even Floyd.
Yeah.
Yeah,
even Floyd. Even though Floyd don't punch in flurries the way Leonard did, his little pull counter right hand is like flashy.
Yep.
Like you get to see the visual of it. With Shakur is just quick step back, right hook, check off hook, straight left hand down and then jab, straight left hand to the body, rinse and repeat. So I don't know if they're gonna give him that. That's just me. I could be wrong. You know, I don't have to be right, but I just don't think people appreciate pure boxers enough. We say we do, but we really like boxer punchers. We don't really.
That is my favorite style.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie.
Most of the judges, they're human beings. They got a preference, and very few times do you see a guy say, "I love pure boxers with less than 50% KO ratios." They don't really like them. You know what I'm saying?
But
you can see a pure boxer, right? I'll show you what I mean. And I'm not criticizing these guys because I think Arturo Gatti does deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. But Arturo Gatti and Vinny Pazienza will make the Hall of Fame before a guy like Paulie Malignaggi will, because people don't appreciate the style enough. And they're all similar level fighters.
They're all Italians that won 1 or 2 titles.
Yeah. Even though I think Gotti deserves to be in the Hall of Fame,
right.
and I think he probably accomplished a little more than the other two. But the style. If Paulie Malignaggi had Arturo Gotti's style with the same exact accomplishments, he would be in the Hall of Fame. I'm just telling you, people don't appreciate boxers. And with Shakur, they booed the guy for just getting a 9th round knockout. I don't want to seem like I'm a Shakur Stevenson advocate either. I just appreciate good boxers. I've only met Shakur a couple times, so I don't know him personally like that where I could call him on the phone. I just noticed that people talk bad about the kid, and I think he's a terrific boxer, and I think it's because of his style. And fighting the star of boxing, the guy who moves the needle, I don't know if he can get that.
Brett, but while we're talking about Shakur and people not appreciating pure boxers, and well, it's funny because I've been talking about this like on my channel lately, and so I think the moments he had against Padley was a beautiful performance. I think what he did to Jamel Herring, beautiful performance. I think what Floyd did, even against Baltimore, that was a fight everyone thought was boring, and Floyd in the post-fight was getting credit. I thought that was a beautiful performance. Sweep, he was beautiful, but what's the fine line here? Because I didn't think De Los Santos was beautiful pure boxing.
I didn't either.
So you get what I mean? What's the fine line? Because sometimes I feel like when we criticize the De Los Santos performance, like, oh, you wouldn't have liked Pernell Whitaker, you wouldn't have liked Floyd. It's like, no, that's not the same thing.
That's not the same. That's not the same. I try to be fair with guys.
And is that, like, what if he fights like that against Taker? That's not what you're saying he has to do to win the fight, right? Not like De Los, like.
What I'm saying is he has to fight a fight. Well, first of all, I think he fought the fight against De Los Santos because De Los Santos is a big puncher.
Yeah,
and
with
he's
speed.
Fast.
Yeah, right.
So if you get up on him too much, everybody can say whatever they want. Fighters know what they're in the ring with. And De Los Santos is another guy who come to Philly and spar, and he's known to knock you out.
Right.
So I'm sure he carried that reputation.
Knocked out Ryo, who's a
and
champion.
I'm sure
right.
that Shakur heard about what kind of puncher he is. So he fought a real careful fight. What I'm saying is that if he fights that kind of fight against Tank, because Tank's better than De Los Santos, they won't give him I don't think they'll give him the decision. I'm not saying for sure. I don't know who the judges will be, but I don't think they're going to give him the decision. But no, I didn't like his performance against De Los Santos either. I thought he was a little bit too careful. But I didn't criticize him because that's how he had to fight with that puncher.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He knows what he feels. You know what I'm trying to say? Like you dip your foot in the water and you know it's hot. So he has the ability to say, you know what, I'm just gonna fight a defensive fight and still win. Some guys don't have that ability. So would I have liked to see him probably box a little bit more violently? Sure, but it's not up to me. I'm not the one getting hit by that big puncher, so he fought the way he needed to fight.
He got the job done.
Yeah, he got the job done.
Got out of there with the belt.
You gotta respect that. I don't even like bringing up Whitaker and all them. Whitaker, special guy.
Yes.
Floyd's special guy.
Yep.
Floyd hasn't reached that level yet. And despite what the media try to make you believe, if you watch one of Whitaker's fights at his lightweight ring, he don't run.
No.
He don't run around the ring. He's stepping around, jabbing, hitting you to the body. He's just not a...
I think he's one of only 7 fighters who landed 500 punches in the fight. I just saw that the other day.
He's a mean dude.
Yeah,
he's just not a KO puncher.
Right.
So he's a total...
But he punched with bad intentions.
Yeah, he did. So I don't... Shakur got a little bit more to do before we put him in that. That's another thing. We got to stop doing that to guys. Let Shakur build his own legacy.
Let Shakur be Shakur.
He's not where Floyd and Whitaker was at 27, 28. They were a little farther along than him. They were the #1 pound-for-pound fighter by that time. So let the young man build his own legacy, and let's see where he's going. But I think Shakur and Tank are equally skilled. Because one of them is a brutal puncher, and one of them is not. One of them applies his defense in a different way. He tries to win his fights with his defense, where the other one wins his fights more with brutal counterpunching. And I think that Tank's style is appreciated more than Shakur's style is. And that is why I think the matchup is tough for Shakur. And now that Tank got the experience of boxing a good southpaw, even though I'm not saying Frank Martin's as good as Shakur, but it's a good look to have. I just think it's a tough fight for Shakur. But you know what? I want to see him fight.
I want to see him fight.
I'm so tired of hearing about the 4 Kings this and the 4 Kings that. And you got guys all around the same age, same era, same weight. And, you know, there has been a couple of fights, but like Hagler, Leonard, Hearns, and Duran fought 9 times, man. They fought 9 times. Ray Leonard was a champion at 147 pounds. had one title defense and fought Roberto Duran as the #1 fighter in the world. Fought him in an immediate rematch, and 10 months later he fought Tommy Hearns. I'm tired of hearing about all of these. I think these guys got to fight, and I'm not saying who's ducking who. I don't know what's going on with the negotiations, but this is getting to a point where, like, come on, man. My God.
I don't want to be here 3 years from now asking you this again.
Yeah, and
you
that's
know what I
yeah,
mean? I don't want to be here a year from now doing it. Yeah.
I'm telling you, you got to be careful with letting these fights marinate for too long.
Yep.
I'm telling you, guys show up and they don't be the same. Look at Earl and Terrence.
Yep.
You got to just be careful with letting these fights marinate. Guys should take fights when they're in their physical peaks. I know everybody wants to take the Manny Floyd blueprint, but they hit the lottery with that. That doesn't work that way, and it almost didn't work at all because Manny got clipped.
Yep.
That wasn't like a genius move. What happened is the stars just lined up for them. Manny, the way he fell out against Marquez, who knows if he would ever fought again? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Then he got robbed against Tim Bradley. Like, too much happened in between that time. These guys need to fight, man. Like, or just not fight. You know what I mean? But like, it's just like I keep hearing, like, I get asked this question all the time, and I'm just like, all right. Devin, Teofimo,
you get tired of talking about it.
Shakur, I mean, Loma is an old man, and he's the one fighting everybody.
Right.
Right? Like, come on. What are we doing here? So, I don't know, man. I just feel like that they got to fight. But if you're asking me, I think they both special. But, man, Tank's going to be tough to beat. Tank's going to be tough to beat, man. I think he hit a groove. He know how to make guys
peaking right now.
Reach for him.
Peaks aren't long though, so you got to get it in.
You can watch him getting better.
Right.
Like, I watched him, even like his face looked different. Like, he used to have a little chubby face. Now he looks fit all the time. I watched him a few years ago against Gamboa, and if you watch him now, totally different guy.
Yeah.
Tank tough, man.
I don't think Gamboa gets to the 12th round against
no
this
way.
version of Davis.
Tank tough, man.
Yeah.
Tank tough, and it's impressive because he's inactive.
But you got to get it in because your peak, it's not as long as your prime, right? Your peak is only
it's
two.
A difference.
It's
a difference.
Yeah.
Your apex and your peak is different from your prime, man. It's a difference. I think he's ready to go, man. I think he can fight anybody, and even if he loses, I think it'll be like a Bivol Beterbiev loss, where it won't be a bad loss. He's so good. I don't know if nobody in history at 130 or 135 can dominate him. Tank's special fighter, man. You know what I mean? But I don't know what's going on, why they putting these fights off for so long, but I would love to see him and Shakur. I actually think it's the biggest lightweight fight in history. I do. I think it'll be the biggest now, I don't know if it's like, if you do per era.
De La Hoya and Ruelas,
I think it's bigger than that.
It definitely is
I
from a
think it's bigger
significance.
than that.
I'm just saying they moved some pay-per-views. Young Oscar could sell some pay-per-views.
They did, but Ruelas had lost already.
Yeah.
He got stopped. Nobody really gave him a chance to win the fight.
Ruelas wasn't that guy, respectfully. He was a tall champion at lightweight, but
I'm telling you, I thought about it. As great as Whitaker is, Whitaker didn't have a super fight at 135.
Right.
Azuma Nelson is his biggest one. That's a huge fight, and it's historically significant, but that's not a super fight.
Right.
Camacho and Rosario was huge, but I don't think that's bigger than that. Mikey and Loma could have been that, but we didn't get it. Duran and De Jesus 3 was huge, but that was a very long time ago.
Yeah.
Ike Williams and Bo Jack was huge. I mean, we got to go back far.
Yeah, you're right.
To some of the maybe Benny Leonard fights, man. I'm telling you, if you think about lightweight,
Mayweather Castillo was in front of a half-empty arena
yes.
at the time. Yeah, two great fighters, but
you got it. You see what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
I'm like I don't know what Floyd made for that fight, but he won't make what Tank and Shakur is gonna make.
No.
Shakur and Tank has a chance to be the biggest lightweight fight in history. If you really think about it, I'm not just talking about money, I'm talking about historical significance, where they are in their careers, the pound for pound thing, the undefeated thing, the East Coast hubs, one's from Baltimore, one's from Newark. They're both southpaw. It has a chance to be the biggest all southpaw fight in history. That's a huge, 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 huge fight. I don't know. I don't want to be promoting somebody else's fight.
Yeah. J-Rock fights